Now, tomorrow marks a new era for the Bank of England. Sir Mervyn King's been replaced by the Canadian Mark Carney, who becomes the first foreign governor in the bank's 319-year history. But what's the legacy of Mervyn King, and what are those in the financial world expecting from 48-year-old Mark Carney? Well, David Kearney is Chief Economist at the British Chambers of Commerce and joins me now. Hello, David.
Good morning.
And also with me, Simon Rose from the action group Save Our Savers. Hello, Simon.
Hello.
Simon Rose, is that a fair criticism that he reacted too slowly to the crisis? Because as David implied there, anyone would need time to get a grip on what actually was happening.
Well, it's true, except that's what you pay central bankers for. They're supposed to be able to actually anticipate these things and react, whereas most of us are still...
Yes, they are, Simon, but most people would agree that not many people anticipate... Vince Cable, we're told, was the only person in the whole world who anticipated what was about to happen.
It's untrue. There were many people who actually anticipated it, but I'm afraid the Bank of England's economists were not among them. They never seem to get it right very far ahead, I'm afraid.
All right, so what was his chief mistake then, reacting too slowly? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, but also having rates far too low before the crisis, which fueled the debt boom, which got us into this mess in the first place. Savers, I don't think, are going to be shedding much of a tear that Mervyn King has gone. Savers have lost about £220 billion in the last 4 years alone because of the Bank of England's policies. And the main remit of the Bank of England, its prime aim, is to maintain price stability. But in the 10 years since he's been governor, prices have gone up 40%. It's not just savers, but that's why all of us are feeling so much poorer.
Yeah, well, I guess the instinct now, rather than to analyse what went wrong, is to look ahead to the future and how the Bank of England might perform under Mark Carney. And Simon, the temptation will be to say what he should do, but what will he do you think?
I think he'll do nothing to begin with. There's a meeting of the MPC this week. I think it would be foolish for him to try and do anything then. It would be awful if he was outvoted, as he can be, of course, now, which he couldn't in Canada, at the very first meeting. I think the inflation report in August will be the first time he starts talking. People are expecting that he's going to talk about what will happen to interest rates, and we'd certainly like to see this, because it's at the moment, people believe low rates will stay for a long time. We need an indication of the Bank of England. As David says, eventually they will rise again, and people need to get ready for this.
Yeah, but and we've had this debate often here on 5 Live. The question is how high they will go once they start to go up.
Keep low interest rates low for too long and create bubbles, and that's exactly what's being happening. And I'm afraid this idea that low interest rates produce growth, well, boy, we've seen that's certainly not the case around the world in the last 4 years.
OK, David and Simon, thank you very much indeed. Just a microcosm there, an indication of some of the arguments and some of the pushes and the pulls that Mark Carney is going to face when he takes over as the governor of the Bank of England from tomorrow, 7:24.